just wanted to come on and basically do kind of like a early morning in the life of me, Stephanie from Stephanie Geary Photography. Daily I am doing stuff towards my business. I am advertising my services. I am posting comments on posts on social media for people who are asking for photographers. I am contacting local companies to see if they might want a photographer, and I'm updating my website all the time. So basically every couple of days I bring myself onto my computer, and I sit here and I go through all of my emails and I catch up with all my admin, and I create posts and I schedule them so that they can be posting daily, so that I can become so my page stays relevant. Obviously we're always battling against algorithms on social media for Instagram and Facebook, so I just wanted to give you a little look at what it is that I do. So generally when I first log on my computer, the first thing I'm looking at is my emails to see if I have any new emails come through. So I've got two inboxes, basically because the first inbox I had, then I lost the password for it and then I found the password. So I've got two photography accounts. One is got quite a lot of like my older work in there. I'm a little bit of a I keep a lot of correspondence, even, I mean, these go back to 2011, but it helps me to look at how I used to work, and it also shows me how far I've come as well as a photographer. I mean, I've been doing this now for 15, 16 years I've been doing this, and I still feel like I'm just at the beginning, and I think it's because having children and then having a different career before, I'm now at the point, and then obviously I took myself back to university and college to get my degree. I've got my final year coming up this year, so I'm kind of at the point now where I feel like I want to give myself totally to photography. I want to really do more work, more events, more portraits, and obviously I've moved area as well. So where I was previously, a lot of my clients were referring me, and I still go back to the area. I only live in Stafford now, so it's not like a million miles away, but I find that I'm now moved to an area that I'm starting again, so I'm like trying to showcase myself as a photographer. And there's so many brilliant photographers out there that I find that I worry about whether I'm good enough. I know some of my previous work wasn't good enough, and as time's gone on, I've learned, and it's nice to know that like previous clients, I think from a photographer's point of view, when I look back at my previous work, then I can see where some of my faults lie. But obviously a normal person, that's probably good. Someone who doesn't look for, images that are aesthetically perfect, they might not notice that an image isn't white balanced properly, or that it's like slightly out of focus, or that there's something in the background that I could have taken out. So I think in terms of that, I think I have come on a lot over the years. I think I've always been passionate about photography, but I think one of the biggest things I have to overcome is confidence and believing in myself. And I try to tell myself all the time, you're good enough, you're doing well, you can do this. And then I think I let that get me down, if that makes sense. So if I don't hear back from someone to say that they like photos, I mean, this is a case in point. So I did a photo shoot. I did a shoot for someone, and I didn't get a response back to say whether or not they liked the images, and I was convinced that they hated them, so I stopped sharing the images about, because I thought, well, they don't like them. They haven't got back to me to say that they don't like them. And this was like two years it went, and then they eventually put a review on my Facebook page to say how much they liked the images and how I was a great photographer, and that they'd really enjoyed the work that I did for them. And then it just made me think, you know what, I stressed myself out too much thinking that people aren't responding. I know people have lives. I know that they're not going to be constantly thinking about updating their social media and reviewing everything that they use, every service that they book and stuff. But to me, as a photographer, if it goes ghostly silent after I've handed images over, I think to myself that there must be a reason why, and I'll give myself many sleepless nights worrying about it, because that's just me as a person. But I've got to start being able to shake it off and think to myself, well, there are a ton of reasons why they could be not coming back to you, before it gets to the point where they're thinking, I'm really unhappy with my images. And I'd like to think that if someone was really unhappy with their images, that they'd come to me about it. So I haven't had that yet, so I'm hoping that that's okay. That's because people tend to do like my work that I've done. So this video is about me showing you what my daily routine's like. So I'll come into my inbox and I'll check my inboxes, and I'll check to see anything that's come through. Today I've not got anything new. I've got some tomorrow I'm photographing at Stafford's music and food festival. It's in Marketplace, so getting used to different places in Stafford, but it's a big event. They have it on every year, and I'm one of the photographers there. So they've sent through a pass for me to use with my name and my picture, photographer. So I'm looking forward to that. So I've got images, I've got messages that I responded to this morning. Well, I signed a contract and sent that back, agreeing to all the rules. No smoking, no taking images, obviously, except for me because I'm a photographer. And I've sent that back. So that's one step that I've done today, which hasn't shown up on here. And then I tend to look on my website first and have a look at my apologies, my analytics, and I try and have a look at the engagement on my page to see. So basically every day on Facebook, if I see that someone said I need a photographer, I comment on that and I'll put a link to my website. And this helps me to see whether or not any of them comments are working. And yesterday I responded to a couple of posts asking for a photographer, and I put my website on, and it looks like obviously I've had a little bit of traffic coming. Last week I put on a post on a Stafford page, and that got 11 visits to my website in that day. I know it doesn't sound a lot. Obviously some days I'm getting no visits, but I'm finding that on the days that I'm posting more on people's comment pages, or I'm on posts, and adverts, then I'm getting a bit more traffic towards my website. So that's what I do. And then I tend to have a look on my website altogether, and I have a look at whether there's anything that I can do to tidy it up, whether there's anything that I can do to change the layout. I look at it with fresh eyes every day, and I just have a cycle through each page to see if there's anything that I can do to make it a little bit more friendly. I tend to write a blog as well, which I haven't done since March, but I'll be updating that after tomorrow's event in Staffordshire, well, Stafford Town, and that's basically what I do in terms of my website, I tend to have a look at the analytics and then have a look at if there's anything I can change, and then set about changing that. I have got store on here which I've not set up yet, but I am considering selling prints. I live just near Cannock Chase now, so it was my aim to start having a wander about, taking images around Cannock Chase, and then setting up images on my website for people to purchase. Obviously that's another avenue of income that I'd have to market. Obviously people won't know it's here unless I market that, but that's another string to my bow, or shall I say. So what I do next is I go onto my social media feeds. For some reason Instagram doesn't work very well on here. I'll show you. So Instagram doesn't tend to work very well on my Mac. I don't know why, whether it needs updating or what, whether the internet's rubbish. It seems to be that sometimes my page lets me down a little bit. It doesn't always load very quickly. It seems to take ages to load the stuff, as you can see here. So I usually use my iPad to update Instagram. So I usually put images on there. I airdrop images from my computer after I've edited them onto my iPad, and I put them onto Instagram via there. And I use Instagram to connect with other photographers, to connect with artists and brands. I put my details on brand posts. So for example, let's see if I can find anything. There's me just being surprised that Schofield has put some more posts on. Oh, good for him. Good for him. Anyway, I ain't wanted to be controversial. That's not good. So, for example, if I see a post on here where it's a company that's selling something, I'm not going to find anything now. Right, I'm not going to find anything now. Usually I have like loads of little like local companies pop up where there's like cake makers and people who create items like this shop it here. So I would look for posts like this. I'd look at what they've got advertised. I mean, they've already got a lot of great imagery already for the items that they sell. But what I would try to do is I would comment to say, love your items, love your products, would you like to work with me? This is my website. And then hopefully I'd get something back from that to be able to work with a company. So that's basically what I do on Instagram on my iPad. I've also got Facebook. I've got a Facebook page that I manage, and then I update that with posts. I tend to create a lot of my stuff through Canva or CapCut. So I have like little slideshows that I create of my images. Yesterday I created a post which is like 10 facts about me, and I posted that, and that got a little bit of interaction. A client that I worked with previously, she put this review on here. I've done a few shoots for her over the years, wedding, christenings, children's shoots, and then she commented this here, so I used that to create this post today, which is basically, you know, some more content that I can use on my page, and then I posted that. I tend to use Facebook then to check around to see if anyone needs any photographers. So I look through posts on here. Again, I'm looking for local businesses. I'm looking for anyone that might need a photographer. I'm looking for any companies that might need looking for companies that might need hold on. So this here music and food festival, this is what I'm covering tomorrow. I'm one of the photographers there. I'm not expected to be the only photographer there, but it will be nice to be in that type of festival setting, and capture images of the crowds, of the people who are there. My plan for tomorrow, usually with that type of photography, I usually just go with my cameras and a few business cards, and I don't really have a plan. I just go and I take images, and then I use Google Drive to send them over to the person who's organised the event, and then I use the images myself on Facebook and social media, which I've been allowed to do. Some companies previously, I did work for one place, another organisation who did like local events and stuff, and I gained a lot of insight, and I gained a lot of images for my portfolio, but it felt like every time they posted something, it was always, I was never tagged in anything that they posted about. I mean, that initially when they said about booking me, they said about it being a volunteer position, which it is. This one tomorrow is as well. A lot of people might be thinking, well, why are you still doing volunteer positions? Why are you not getting paid? And it's just a way for me to build connections. I think like building yourself as a photographer, especially in the earlier stages, I think it isn't always about how much money you can earn. It's about gaining connections and that experience as well. But when I worked with the previous company, it felt like they didn't really ever tag me in anything, and it felt like it wasn't important enough for them, even though that's what we discussed in the beginning. I won't get paid, but you'll tag me in posts, and but they also kind of stopped me from using images on my social media as well. And I say stop because it's like a thing with I'm not going to go into it. Just right. So basically, this is the event I'm photographing at tomorrow. So my plan is to go there, and I'm going to take my business cards, and I'm going to go around the crowds, and I'm going to take photos of people. I'm going to say, "Would you like a photo taken?" And I'll take a photo, and I'll give them a business card, and I'll say, "These are all my details. This is my Facebook, my Instagram, my website." And I'll be putting the images on my Facebook page and my Instagram page, and you'll see your images on there, and for you to be able to save and share, etc., etc. So that's my plan. So then I'm giving out more of my business cards, maybe drawing more traffic into my website, and possibly maybe drawing more people to my Facebook page as well, so that they can see the images that I've produced. So that's what I'm thinking, that's my plan. And I'm going to go around the businesses as well, and then share business cards with them, to be able to say that build connections basically, with the possibility that there might be other companies that I could work with at a later date. So that's my plan for tomorrow. So yeah. So what? While I'm on Facebook, I would go through. And I'd comment on posts, anyone asking for a photographer, anyone saying about any local events coming up, I would comment about my website, anyone saying about, can anyone know a photographer, etc., etc. I would come on here and put a comment on, and add my website, and I'd be able to see from that how many people had interacted with those posts. I mean, I could post and I could comment on quite a few posts on Facebook and Instagram, so you don't know exactly which one they're coming from, but when you come back to the analytics and you can see that your spikes of activity have gone up on your website, it's nice to know that maybe some people have at that post and at least looked at my content. So yeah, that's traffic sources. So traffic sources, you can see that so these yesterday sources, 1 direct, 4 social. So like social media, 4 people come from there and 1 come through search. So there's a couple of most of the search is 0. So I've been in 1 search engine thing. So I mean, like it is a little bit of an headache, like every day, thinking, you know, what can I do to push to get more business. But I think I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow because I think it's going to give me an opportunity to break out of my comfort zone, stop thinking to myself that I'm not good enough, and start approaching people. You know, make those connections with the possibility that there might be something else come out of it. So that's my plan. And then on Saturday I've got my first wedding of the year, so that'll be fun. I then, once I've done Facebook and I've commented on all the posts that I can find, I do a search to see if photographers wanted, and I just go through any posts that I can find. There's me. And then I'll look to see if there's anything relevant, anything up to date. The thing with Facebook is that when you search for anything, it doesn't always give it your date order. So you can put to say recent posts, so it shows you. What is this? What is that? Where's that? Where's Ashgate? Where? So, because I've just seen that post, then I wanted to see how far it is from. I ain't great with directions, so error and 10. Right, where was that? Where was that? Where was it again? Where's the sponsored? Saturday, 22nd of June. Right, okay. Let's go back to that post. Because so now I'm going to send a message on the right thing. Yes, so taking a bit of time. So that's basically what I'd do on Facebook. I'd go through my Facebook and see if there's any posts been put on, like this one, and it's taking a while. Right, let's force quit that. Alright, let's try another way. So that's what I would do. I would go through and see if there's any posts that I could apply and put my information on for. I could see that from like the posts that they put on, there was a few people who have responded. Whether they've got someone now, I don't know. Let's try this again. Alright, let's start a new message. Paste. What is going on? The reason I keep looking over there is because my camera's there, but then my little screen's there, and I keep looking at my face. Okay, right. I'll do that in a bit. I'll do that in a bit. You don't need to be watching that. So, next thing I'll do is I'll come onto my LinkedIn and make sure my profile is up to date. I put posts on there where I need to. So I looking forward to looking forward to helping cover this event tomorrow in Stafford. I will post images as I am really looking forward to building my portfolio and my connections. Okay, and then I'd come onto my page and I'd make sure that everything was up to date. I'd have a look at what impressions I'd made, how many searches I've appeared in. I got some extra followers. So LinkedIn, basically, for those who don't know, LinkedIn is like it's like a CV, but like for like social media, but it's like work based. So it's not like you build it up by. It's not like loads of influencers on here. It's like people who are like brands are on here, companies are on here, other photographers. So like you can see on here that there's other photographers. I tend to try and follow other photographers and brands as and where I can. Not only is it nice to be able to connect with other photographers, but when you have like your timeline here, which is very similar to what you have on Facebook, it shows you other photographers and what they're up to. It gives you like photo shoots from other photographers, and it's just a nice way to be able to get inspiration for work, to be inspired by other photographers, and just appreciate art as well. So it gives you it's nice to connect with other photographers to be able to get a good idea of what how other photographers work, and to build those relationships as well. So that's what I tend to do on here. On here also, it's because you got like the feed part where you like got images from other photographers and other brands as well. And then you've got my network, which just shows you people who you can connect with, other people that might be, so people from Walsall College, for example, because I've put that I was from Walsall College, people from photography backgrounds, and then there's jobs as well. So like on here, it'll post jobs based on what your resume says or what your CV says. So and because I've said that I'm a photographer, then it comes up with posts on here that you can apply for. So I tend to have a little look through here to see if there's anything that I could put myself forward for. A lot of the jobs tend to be too far for me to be able to justify doing, especially as I'm currently still responsible for 3 young children. I say responsible as in I've still a mom of 3 young boys, youngest being 3, so I don't like to think of myself working full time elsewhere. I don't mind doing jobs where it might be a couple of days, a week or so away with my photography, but doing a job where it's like full time. So, for example, like this full time studio photographer, I wouldn't be able to commit to these working hours, so it wouldn't work, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that's basically where I am. So that's basically what I do. That's what I do daily. So I check my emails, check my social media, create posts to create content. I create content on Instagram on there, and then I checked my LinkedIn. And then basically, once I've done all them bits that I need to do, then I start putting a plan together. I start searching for ideas on how I can get more business. So I start putting letters together, and I try and find ways of networking. And that's basically what I do. So I just wanted to come on and give you a little look at what I do on social media and the computer. I'm hoping that this eventually, works, and I can start getting more bookings. Obviously, the aim is to have paid bookings, but at the moment I'm just happy just to be able to build connections, which maybe, hopefully, will build more work and get people looking at my images. So that's where I'm at. So thanks for watching. I hope I haven't bored you too much, and I'll see you soon. Once I've turned the recording thing off.